We're 3 days into camp here at team headquarters in Oakland. This is Warriors training camp fueled by Gatorade. I'm Lawrence Scott, and today we are joined by Draymond Green to talk about some of the new coaches on staff and getting the most out of this year's camp.
You know, it's great to get back, with the guys, get back on the court. You know, obviously coming off a Game 7 loss, you're kind of eager to get back at it and, try to get back to that point. But, the thing about camp is you're starting all the way over from day one, and that's sometimes what the hard thing is to do. However, we have quite the new group. And so you got a lot of fresh blood, a lot of new energy in here that makes it a lot more exciting, that makes it a lot easier to start over from day one, because you have so many things to work on together to try to get back to that point. And this team has to grow in order to get there. So, it's been exciting getting back out here. We got some new coaches in here, some new guys in here, and that's been fun, getting to know each other and being around each other.
We've seen some special guests out here. Coach Garland from Michigan State dropping by, part of Coach Izzo's staff, and also seeing you working with Mike Brown, the new Warriors assistant coach. What does he and Coach Green, another Michigan guy, help bring to the table here?
It was great to have Coach Garland in the building. It's always great to have Michigan State family around, and he hit me this weekend and said, "Hey man, I want to catch a couple practices." And so he came out and saw yesterday and today, and it's always great to have him around. And with Coach Brown and Coach Green, like I said, number one, they bring new energy. Mike Brown brings prior head coach experience, finals, been to the finals a couple times. As a head coach, so he's been at the bottom, so he's kind of seen it all, and he brings that experience to us. With Willie Green, he brings, like Luke, he's not so far removed from the game. He still understands it very well from the player side, and I think that's always great to have around. A smart guy, who's played in this league, I think 13 years, and now he's on the coaching side. He's one of those guys that you can talk to about anything because he still understands it from that perspective. And I think, like I said, I think it's great to have guys like that around.
Draymond, thanks so much for joining us.
No problem. Thank you.
Also here on this Thursday, Coach Kerr addressing the media. Let's listen in.
First game is just about conditioning. I mean, I've never in the NBA. How long have I been in the NBA? I don't know. A long time, almost 30 years. Never seen an exhibition game come 4 days after the start of camp. That's like bizarre. So this is about conditioning and just getting to know one another, getting to know our style, and the real work will come during that week off after the third exhibition game. As we come back Saturday, Sunday off, we play Tuesday, Thursday. And we've got about 7 days before our next game. And that week's going to be critical. That's when we're going to put more of our stuff in, start thinking more about rotations. First 3 games, it's not going to look pretty, I can tell you that.
So far, does it look like a new team, or does it just look like a couple new pieces?
Well, I think the practices have gone well, which means it doesn't look like a brand new team. I mean, 2 years ago here was chaos the first few days. Like, I was really worried. So the fact that we have 7 or 8 returning guys, 8 I think, means that everybody kind of knows our drills, knows what we're doing. So practices have been smooth and fresh because of the new blood that's here. But we've got a long way to go to really incorporate our offense, and we haven't even put in a sideline or out of bounds underneath yet. So we got to do some stuff tomorrow just to be semi-ready for Saturday. But we got a lot of work ahead, and the tricky thing is we got to pace the team too. You can't overwork them after 2 years in a row going into the finals, and hopefully making a long playoff run this year. It's a balance.
Steve, with Kevin, you guys knew each other a little bit before, and I wonder just what's that process been like, getting to know him more? Is it the standard approach for you, like you are with any player, just letting it kind of evolve organically? What are you seeing there?
Well, we've had some good discussions. Bob and I had lunch with him before camp started, just get to know you stuff. And now that the practice has started, it's more about getting to know his teammates. And just like any other partnership or friendship, it just takes time. It's not anything you do in particular. It's just a lot of conversation and when you can have it.
Is he kind of the guy you thought he was, or anything new that you learned about the way he's wired?
No, he's the guy that I thought he was. I mean, I've had lots of friends in the league who have worked with him, played with him, coached him, whatever, and his reputation preceded him, and he is who he is. Yeah.
Is he just, basketball-wise, he just blends in with what you do, or is what you do changing a little bit just because he's on the floor?
He blends in pretty well with what we already do. As I said, we haven't put in a lot of our offense, but he dominates play when he's on the floor. I mean, he's a dominant offensive player, so which is a great thing. He's a great playmaker, and I think that's what's really intriguing about putting him with these guys, with Steph and Clay and Draymond, is you got Andre, Sean, you got multiple playmakers, and if you move the ball, we should be able to cut down on turnovers as long as we don't make it about the show and we make it about execution. We should be able to cut back on our turnovers this year. We should be able to get better shots. We should be able to compete at a high level, but execute at a high level too, which is you have to do in June especially.
Did you see a Curry Durant pick and roll?
Yeah, I think that might
Maybe
come
a little
up.
dangerous.
The regular season already so long, especially for you guys. 30 days of preseason, is that about right? Does it feel too long, too short?
I kind of like the idea that's been tossed around the last couple summers to start the regular season a little bit earlier, maybe a week early, cut camp down to 21, 22 days, play 5 exhibition games instead of 8. I kind of like that, just so you have fewer back-to-backs during the regular season. Yeah, I mean, a month is usually enough time for everybody to get their legs underneath them and the starters to be ready to play, 30-plus minutes.
What does your shooting guard spot look like behind Clay? Last year you had Barbosa. Do you have a guy that you're saying right now is your backup shooting guard?
Well, Ian, I would say is our backup right now, and I think Patrick McCaw factors in there as well. Andre can play some 2. Sean can play. If Sean plays with Steph almost becomes the 2 in many ways. Lots of combinations that will work. But yeah, we don't have as much depth there as we did a year ago. But I think Patrick's got a real chance to make an impact this year. He's a very impressive young guy.
Defensively, Wisconsin City is strength. Have you seen that, or has it been both sides?
Both sides. Yeah, he's a smart player, knows when to cut, sees the floor, sees the game well, and will fit our style well.
Steve, last year there were a couple of times when you made comments about the team putting on the show, even though you won some of those games, a lot of those games, 73 games. But do you think that what happened in the finals sort of, I guess, sobers guys up in the sense of just focusing on what they have to do when they're out there?
Yeah. I mean, I think, to be quite frank, last year was kind of hard to coach. The first year was a lot easier to coach the team because we hadn't won anything. It's really easy for me to come in here and say, we're being loose with the ball. That stuff doesn't work. I know, I've been through this. Last year, we're winning every game and we're getting sloppy, and I come in and I'm like, hey, we're sloppy. We got to do this. We got to do that. And it's like deaf ears because we're 60-7 or something, and we've won the championship the year before. There was a sense of we got this. Yeah. And I think we did learn against OKC and Cleveland that if you don't execute, you don't take care of the ball, you can't score in that kind of environment, you're in some trouble.
Does Looney look rusty?
Looney?
Yeah. He hasn't played.
Yeah, I mean, he's been injured so much of his year plus that this really is his rookie season. So we're more concerned with him just getting reps, getting scrimmage time, and being physically able to get out there and play and withstand the day-to-day grind. All right.
Is JaVale still making his case?
Yeah. JaVale's been good. He had 2 really good days, and wasn't as good today. We had a short practice today. We kind of wanted to blow it out, get up and down. So today was harder for anybody to really stand out, but he stood out the first couple of days.
And one of the newest Warriors, center Zaza Pachulia, also talking to the press.
It's definitely, we should use our experience. We should use your brains more, obviously, instincts, and that's why we need to be on the same page, right? To read each other without making any calls. And I'm telling you, it's kind of next level, for the good teams, to play basketball. Obviously, calls, we're gonna have some calls, but if you're on the same page, it's very difficult for opponent to read what we're doing, especially having this many weapons in our team. Everybody can make the plays, and great scores, and so many things we can do. You gotta take advantage of it, and if you read it, I'm telling you, we're gonna be really tough to guard, offensively. But we need to work on defensive end too. This team has been in top 5 last couple of years, so we need to at least keep it there. It's very important. It's gonna help you to win championships.
What's it been like, having these weapons on the court? Is it kind of how you imagined, looking around and seeing some of these shoots?
I believe in one thing: we're not 100% right now. So I don't want to say, wow, it's amazing, because I know we still have room to improve, individually as a team as well. So so far so good. Obviously looking for better things, looking us to get in a better shape, and the flow of the game, obviously the reads, etc. So it's going to be crucial, especially against the good teams.
Has there been any wow moments, like a play or two that?
I know these guys. I play against these guys. I scouted. I fouled them hard. And they have scored on me. So I know these guys. So of course they are great players. It's an exciting moment. But now we're teammates, so we need to make it easier for each other.
What are you saying from JaVale so far in just a few days?
Yeah, we played together last year, right? And he definitely lost some weight. So that's the first thing I noticed. But he's working hard. He's trying. He's going hard. So and hopefully he's going to take advantage of it.
Does he look healthier? I know he's had some.
Yeah, the last couple of years he went through this tough injuries and stuff. So he looks good out there. Even though I asked him to play one-on-one today after the practice, he denied. But he looks good. He moves better. He looks better. Compared to last year.
Have you actually talked to David West? You guys had that altercation. Have you talked about that at all?
Oh man, we're not kids. This is a business, of course. I mean, we don't need to talk about what happened last year. I wasn't expecting a different thing. The first time we saw, we gave him a good hug. We're teammates now. We represent this team, and we're professionals. So we got each other's back now. So 2 tough guys together, for this team. That's a good thing.
That being said, Zaza, how do you perceive your role on the team? Do you think that you and David can give an enforcer or a kind of a toughness that the Warriors may have lacked last year?
We gotta give everything we have and everything we can do. Definitely not trying to get out from my game or do something new, right? And I want to do what I know to do and what I've been doing the last couple of years. I think that's been really successful. I think that will really help my team with the previous teams, right? So. And that's why I'm here, because coaches and the management knows what I can bring for this team. So that's why I'm here.
I asked Kevin the other day about just the transition to the Bay Area, driving in, and he mentioned the traffic. What are you liking and maybe not liking about the Bay Area so far?
Well, first I would say what I don't like. My haircut was terrible, by the way. I don't know good place yet. Obviously, this is difficult to see your face, right? So I tried, I didn't like it. Now I gotta try another one. I'm gonna keep trying until I find the right person. It's a joke, but I've been here before. Obviously, being in the league for 13 years, I've been coming here pretty often. To live is different, obviously. I'm not picky, honestly. Yeah, I lived in Atlanta, I lived in Milwaukee, started with Orlando, so I've been north and south. And as far as this business going well, that's what I care about. And I think I'm in a perfect situation. I'm in a great group of guys, great group of coaches and organizations. So that's what makes me happy on and off the court.
Is there one or two things that you want to work on before the regular season starts? It's like, obviously you want to get to know the offense and the guys.
Sure.
For you personally, a couple of things you want to work on.
Yeah, I mean, speed, right? The speed to keep up with these guys, and I know I'm capable of doing it. Just need to keep it up with these guys, for a night-in basis. Other than that, just finding the open spots, because I know this guy's gonna find me when I'm open, and pick and pass probably, because I'll be setting a lot of screens with these guys, and this guy's getting a lot of attention from the defense. So I'll find my game. It's definitely gonna come, and we're gonna complement each other. That's the best thing, and we're gonna enjoy playing together. It's not gonna be easy, but we have to make it work.
Have you primarily been playing with that kind of expected starting lineup, in practice?
Yeah, I mean, we've been shuffling here and there, playing with different personnel, because during the year, it's not going to be the same, right? So rotations might change, and you might end up playing with different guys. So you got to get to know each other really well. Plus, we have guys who are trying to make the team. They're getting their opportunities as well. We have a couple of veteran guys who, you don't necessarily need to kill them and stuff. So just being smart and get to know each other really, really well. This is the key.
When you're in that lineup, I mean, obviously it's so early in camp, but have you already kind of noticed the type of space you might have to operate?
Absolutely. I mean, but it's different when you're going to practice. That's why exhibition games gonna better show, basically, for the opponent teams what they're gonna try to do. But still, you can tell on the practice, right? These guys, you leave them wide open. It's so many great shooters from outside, KD, Steph, and Clay, and so they'll be hard to all those guys, and you gotta take advantage. This is a team sport, right? You gotta help each other. We have to help each other get the easy buckets, right? And not necessarily we're gonna be relying on those guys, but they need the help from inside as well. And so this is a team sport. We gotta complement each other, like I said.
All right, on Friday, the team heads to Vancouver to get set for Saturday night's preseason game number 1 against the Toronto Raptors. This is Warriors training camp, fueled by Gatorade.